Hello, hello. Good evening, everyone. Is there anyone who can respond? I think there must be someone, but because of night issue. Please, those who are live, those who can listen me, you can WhatsApp me. If you're not able to text, please WhatsApp me. I request all the center coordinators, if you're facing some kind of internet issue, please respond me on WhatsApp. Maybe they are live, but last time भी यही हुआ था ना. Let me wait for 2 minutes, then we'll start. So very quickly, let me do the revision what we have covered in the last class, right? What is slope and how do we find slope, angle between two lines, right? Sometimes both the lines will be given so that we can find out their values of slope, m, right? Not about the lines exactly, but yeah, slopes will be given to us, okay? So if we have m1, m2 values, how to find the angle between those two lines whose slopes are given to us? Or maybe they can ask you about the slope of one line if the slope of other line and their angle between these two lines is given to us. Then also you can find out particular values of m, right? So we have done the same problem as well. That was the last problem. So we will revise all this very quickly and then we will move to the next topic, which is main topic, I would say, straight line, right? So yeah, very quickly, let's do some basic question using the angle between two lines and some proof question. So question is, prove that the line joining points we have 2, -3, 2, -3 and -5, 1, -5, 1 is parallel to the line joining points are given, line joining the points 7, -1 and 0, 3. So these are 2 points. You can find out the values of m1 and m2, okay, and then you have to prove that they are parallel. That means their values of slopes are same, m1 equals to m2. That is the condition we have. So guys, this is 2, -3 and the other point is -5, 1. So this is your x1, this is y1, x2, y2, right? So what is the m1 value? m1 from these 2 points. So that is going to be y2 minus y1, 1 minus of -3 divided by -5 minus 2. What we get? We get 4 divided by minus of 7. So minus 4 by 7. Similarly, we can find out what is m2 value. m2 is going to be x1, y1, x2, y2. So here we get 3 minus of -1, 3 minus of -1. divide by 0 minus 7. So we get plus of 4 divided by again minus of 4 by 7, right? Since m1 equals to x2, since m1 equals to m2, okay, therefore lines are parallel, right? Suppose if we get m1 into m2, so that means they are perpendicular, and that is my next question. Prove that the line joining, right, points are 2 comma minus 5 and minus 2 comma 5 is perpendicular to the line, joining points are 6 comma 3 and 1 comma 1. Okay. So what you have to prove is, you have to prove that m1 into m2 gives you minus 1. Let's find out what is m1. Using initial 2 points, that will be 5 minus 5, 5 minus of minus 5 divided by minus 2 minus of 2. So we get 10 divided by minus of 4, which is minus of 5 by 2. Right? This is minus 5 by 2, one slope. Let's find out m2 value. m2 is 1 minus 3, 1 minus 3, 1 minus 6. So we get minus of 2 divided by minus of 5, which is 2 by 5. Minus minus we have cancelled. Clearly, as we have m1 into m2 equals to minus 1, or we can say m1 equals to minus of 1 upon m2, that means lines are perpendicular. Lines are perpendicular. That's the answer. Right? So this kind of question you may expect. These are very easy, maybe for 1 or 2 marks, not more than that. Right? In the last class, we have also done a problem in which we were given one slope and the angle between two lines, which was pi by 4. Then you have to find the slope of other line, right? So in that case, we were getting total of 2 lines, right? It is going to be, this case will be always there, right? Because whenever a line is given and some angle is given, you will always get 2 lines at that particular angle. Suppose this is the line, right? Let's say L1. Now I am telling you any random angle. You can take any of theta. So suppose a theta angle. What is the other line you can plot? Possibly this one, right? Having the same theta, you can plot another line which will be this one. So if this is theta, this is always theta. So there is going to be always 2 lines, right? You getting this? Well, in the last class we were getting somewhat 3 and minus 1 by 3. Just for your memory, it was 3 and minus 1 by 3. So, at the end we were getting these 2 lines are also perpendicular, because the angle given was pi by 4. That means 45 degrees, right? So if this angle is 45, this is also 45. So total of the angle will become 90. That means the slope of those required lines, they are going to be perpendicular. That was a special case. But yes, in all the cases, for every value of theta, you will be getting 2 values of m. Right? So this is all about slope. Now let's start straight lines, and we will see how many kinds of different forms are there for a straight line. If a straight line is there in the space, it will be a unique line, right? Undoubtedly. But to represent this, we have different ways. Okay, I mean, one will be slope intercept form, one could be intercept form, one will be point slope form, right? The normal form is there, parametric form is there, a lot of thing can be done, right? Yeah, so we'll understand one by one, starting with the general formation, general form of a line, right? You have studied earlier about the lines. Let me tell you, in class 9th, there was a small topic called linear equations in two variable. You remember? Yes, ax plus by plus c equals to 0, right? This is not an expression or an equation, right? This is exactly the line, or I would say the general formation of a line, right? Where we have two of the dimension x and y. So a line in xy coordinate. Clear? So we start with the general definition of a line, and then we will see the different forms of any line, right? So guys, now define line, straight lines. So let's define this. Any equation of the form ax plus by plus c equals to 0, where at least one of a or b is non-zero, is known as straight line, right? Mathematically any equation or any expression ax plus by plus c form, that is going to be a straight line, provided at least one of a or b is non-zero, right? If both are there, like both are non-zero, well and good, that will be a general line having some slope with the x-axis. Just in case if we get, I'll tell you later this, but very quickly, if suppose you'll get a equals to 0, right? If a equals to 0, so you are going to get by plus c, and suppose if b is 0, so you are going to get ax plus c, right? So these are some very special lines, right? One is parallel to x-axis always, and the other line is always parallel to y-axis. So we'll talk about this separately, but just for now, as we have this condition where at least one of a or b is non-zero, so this is you have to understand. Okay, why they are not? I mean, why they both cannot be 0? If a and b both become 0, then what do you get? You will get c equals to 0. That is not like that. That is nothing, right? C equals to 0 is nothing because c is a constant. Okay. Let me write here, where at least one of a and b is non-zero. Also, you can write here also, a, b, c all belongs to real number. They are basically constants. Okay. So if a, b, c are real number, that means in this case when a 0 and b 0 both are 0, indirectly you are saying that c equals to 0. Right? That is not an correct expression because c has some value. Sometimes it is 4 or maybe 5 or anything like, but it cannot be 0. So that is the reason this is not a straight line. This is nothing basically, right? This is not a complete equation or expression. Well, in regard to straight line, this is not the case. So first and second, when a is 0 or b is 0. Clear? Okay, enough for this. This is in mathematical form, or if I have to define in terms of locus in the space, so we can define this way. Or the second definition is, or what is the characteristics of a straight line, right? So that is, a straight line a straight line is a curve such that every point on the line segment joining any two points, right? When you're saying 2 or 3, it must be point. A straight line is a curve such that every point on the line segment joining any 2 points on it lies on it, right? Lies on it. Line segment means there can be infinite number of line segment, smaller segment. If you divide a complete line into smaller cuts or smaller segment, so any point lying on these basically line segment, so they will be lying on the straight line, right? Line segment, if you are going to add them together, so you will be getting all the points in a simple line, a straight line, linear way. It's not a good definition, by the way. A straight line is a curve such that every point on the line segment joining any 2 points on it lies on it. So basically this is what they mean. If you take any 2 point, like if this is the line, and if you take any 2 points, suppose this point, so that will be a line segment. Now you take this point and this point, so you will get a line segment. So what we are saying is that these 2 points, right, they will also lie on the line. Yes, these 2 points, they will also lie on the line. Yes, so that is what the characteristic is, right? Indirectly, in better, if you want to say something, that will be good with if you use the slope word or gradient word, right? That gradient at any point is same, or so third is it is the locus of all the moving points. It is the locus. Locus means nothing but path. Okay, in short, path. That's it. So it is the path of all the moving points which have same gradient. Same gradient. Gradient means slope. It is the slope of all the moving points which have same gradient. Of course, like not parallel lines, okay, on the same line. If you say it conversely, that will be much better, I would say. Like in this way, you can take any point which have same slope, so that is going to be lie on the same line. No, but yeah, if there is a line, you can take any point, its gradient will be same, right? So conversely is a much better way to define a line or to use a locus word. All right, so let's start with the first form. Slope point form. Different forms of straight line, of a line. First, point slope form. Point slope form. Okay. Equation of a straight line passing through a fixed point x1 comma y1 and having slope of m, is given by y minus y1 equals to m times x minus x1. This is what the equation is. Equation of a straight line passing through a fixed point x1 comma y1 and having slope of m is given by this formula. So whenever you have to find out equation of line with x1 y1 and slope value given, you can use this formula, right? Now let's discuss why we get this case point slope form. Why not we are just saying that one point form or just slope form? Why we need one point and slope all the time? I mean, there are some other ways to define a line, but in this particular form, what if we are not taking point for some moment, or suppose not slope for some moment, right? So let's understand this. I mean, when we can define a line uniquely, okay? So let's understand the importance of a point here. My question is, from a fixed point, how many line can pass through? From a fixed point, this is the point, now how many lines can pass through? Start plotting. 1 line, 2 line, 3 line, 4 line, 5, 6, 7, I guess infinite. Okay. Now if you take one slope, like if you consider one slope, let me take some 45 degrees. So this is your xy coordinate, this is y, this is x coordinate. Now how about this 45 degrees? So my question is, how many line you can plot with slope having 45 degrees or angle with the x-axis 45? So how many lines? 1 or 2 or maybe infinite? See, this is one line with 45 degree. This is second line with 45 degrees, third line with 45 degrees, fourth, fifth, sixth, so on, infinite lines, I guess, right? So here we conclude that if only one point is given, you can draw infinite number of lines from that particular point. Similarly, if you have one slope value, you can have infinite number of parallel lines. There is no unique line, right? But when you club these point and the slope information, there will be a unique line. How is that? Now I am saying that a line, this is the space xy coordinate, not the space, right? This is the Cartesian plane, and now I am saying that there is a line having angle of 60 degrees, okay, and passing through 2, 1, and angle is given 60 degrees. How many lines, such lines are possible? Okay. So let's talk about this 60 degrees now. How many lines would be there? 60, infinite number of lines again, right? But all are not going to be your answer. Our answer is that particular line which is passing through 2, 1. So which is 2, 1? 2, 1 is here. This is 2, 1 point. Suppose this is 2, 1. So this is the line which we were looking for. This is the required line. Well, this seems to be not to be a line, but believe me, it is a line. That's my bad art because of. Okay, so this is the answer. I hope you understood why we need one point and one slope, right? Because you can plot or you can find out a unique line, right? So that's the answer. These are not the answer, right? I hope this is clear. All right. So let's do some questions now. Questions. Find the equation of lines. Find the equation of line find the equation of line passing through 5 comma minus 3 and making an angle of 45 degrees with the x-axis, positive direction of x-axis. When nothing is mentioned, like we are simply saying with the x-axis, means you are going to consider with the positive x-axis and in the anti-clockwise sense, if nothing is mentioned, right? Otherwise they will mention you that, in the exact manner, or otherwise they will tell you ki with the positive x-axis but in the clockwise direction. So you have to take the minus sign accordingly. But yeah, for now this is 45 plus 1 slope means, right? So what is the formula? Formula is y minus y1 equals to m times m minus x1. Okay, so what is x1 y1 values? X1 y1 are 5 comma minus 3. What is m? M is going to be tan theta, as theta is 45 degrees, so m will be 1. Okay, now y minus 3 equals to 1 x minus 5, right? So y plus 3 equals to x minus 5. If you were to solve this, you will get x minus y equals to 8. Or if you were to take all the a, b, c, whatever x, y constant all together on one side, so it will be x minus y minus 8 equals to 0 or equals to 8. That's your answer. Okay, this is how we solve this kind of problem. Remember, there is an important note. Ax plus by plus c equals to 0, right? That's a general form of straight line. General form of straight line, right? So whenever a general form is given to us, means ax plus by plus c equals to 0, means some line is given to us. Let me write it first, then I'll explain. So what is the slope of this line, right? Slope will be defined as minus of coefficient of x divided by coefficient of y. Clear? That means minus of a upon b. This is, you have to remember, very much important. Whenever a general line is given, your value of slope will be minus of a upon b, right? Is it clear? Well, it doesn't matter actually that c is in the right side or in the left side, because ultimately there is nothing to do with c, constant part. But I would say always you should consider in the left side, because there are some other form in which you have to take care for that as well. So yeah, minus of a upon b is going to be the slope of a straight line. Okay. Now we'll do some question when you have to find the slope of some given line and you have to use to find out the required line. Informations will be given in different ways. So let's do this question. Question is, find the equation of line, parallel to find the equation of line parallel to the line 3x minus 4y equals to 7 and passing through 1, 3. Okay. Find the equation of a line parallel to the given line and passing through 1, 3. Now, how can you find out the equation of some line which is parallel to this? Let's say this is line L1, right? This is your L1 line, okay? The required line, this is the required line, okay? This is required line. So now, what is the characteristics? That they are parallel. Also, this line is passing through 1, 3. So there is some point 1, 3 lying on the required line, right? Now we have one point. Of course, we have x1, y1 value, which is 1, 3 in this case. What is the value of m, small m? How can you find a small m value? Small m is going to be from m1 equals to m2, isn't it? If these two lines are parallel, that means whatever the slope of this line, it will be same as this line, because we have a condition, a well-known condition, that is m1 equals to m2 if two lines are parallel. So you see, what is m1 value here? M1, since m1 is minus of coefficient of a, coefficient of x divided by y, which is minus times, what is a value? A is 3. What is b value? V is minus 4. Remember, this is ax plus by. So this sign, minus sign, goes to b, right? So this way we get a equals to 3, b equals to minus 4. Here if you use minus of 3 divided by minus of 4, it will be 3 by 4. So what is the value of m1? 3 by 4. So what is this slope value? This is also 3 by 4, as they are parallel, right? Can you find out the equation of line now? Yes. Equation is y minus y1. y1 is 3, m times 3 by 4, x minus x1, and we are done. Rest is you have to solve. So that is 4y minus 12 equals to 3x minus 3. Further 3x minus 4y, 3x minus 4y, right? And here it is plus of 9 equals to 0. And that's your answer. This is the required equation of the required line. All right. So via given point, there are different ways to provide the information slope. Information of the slope of the required line. Maybe I can give you a question in which you have to find the equation of a line which is perpendicular to some given line. So again, you can find out the slope of given line. Let's say m, right? Then what is the slope of required line? That will be minus of 1 over m. Okay, from the condition, perpendicular condition. So you have slope value and some point will be given to you, or maybe some other information will be given to you, right? So you can find out that way also. Clear? Second form is 2-point form. Two-point form. Equation of any line passing through points x1, y1 and x2, y2 is given as y minus y1 equals to y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1 x minus x. This is the formula. Everything is same from everything is same as first. The only difference is here we are not given the value of with the value of slope, but yes, you can find out the slope, right? Slope of any line passing through 2 point, we have a formula, right? y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. So that is how you can find out the slope value. Okay. Again, this is we can explain in the same manner that, you know, if we have 2 point, so there is always a unique line. Remember this. Very much important. Remember, an unique line can pass through and unique line can pass through two fixed points. Okay, and unique line can pass through two fixed point. What is the fixed line? What is the line? Unique line. This is the line. All right. Question is, find the equation of lines passing through the following points. First, A 0, 1 and B 3, minus 2. Second, A minus 1, 6 and B 5, 4. Third, no, it's okay. 2 is enough. Okay. So how we can find out equation of any line passing through two fixed point? Give it a try. You know the formula, right? I'll wait for 2 minutes, then I'll solve it for you. A and B 2 points. So x1 y1 and x2 y2, you know. You just have to plug in all the values in formula. First case, this is x1, this is y1, this is x2, this is y2. Now, formula is y minus y1 equals to y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1, x minus x1, right? Let's solve this. Y minus 1 equals to minus 3 divided by 3, x minus 0. So this is minus 1. We get y minus 1 equals to minus of x. Okay. Further, it is x plus y minus 1 equals to 0. This is what you get. X plus y minus 1 equals to 0. Well, there is a way in which you can check whether your answer is correct or not. The answer what you have got on solving this particular is correct or not. So you see, you can always do this, right? Does this point 0, satisfy? Yes, 0 plus 1 minus 1 equals to 0. So it is satisfying. Similarly, what about this 3, minus 2 point? 3, minus 2. So what is the value of x? 3 and y value is minus of 2. Yes, this is also satisfying, right? So yeah, this may help you in the competitive exams. All the options will be given to you, and of course if this is the question you can solve it, but I'm telling you if information is, a lot of information is given and some options are given, so you should always check whether slope is matching or not with the options. If point is given in the information, then this point does satisfy or not. So kind of these back check or elimination method you can also apply in an objective paper, not in subjective, right? In boards you have to write it entirely. There is no alternative. Second is A is -1,6 and B is 5,4. So let's solve this, the second case. Second is -1,6 -1,6. So this is you are going to get, right? Y minus 6 x plus 1. Let me check. -1,6, yes. 5,4. So it is 4 minus 6. 4 minus 6. 5 minus of -1. So what we get y minus 6 equals to -2 by 6. This is x plus 1. Okay. Now further it is 1 by 3. Okay. So y minus 6 3 times equals to minus of 1. So that will be minus x minus 1. Further it is 3y minus 18 equals to minus x minus 1. Alright. Further it will be x plus 3y minus of 17 equals to 0. So this is your answer. Alright. Again you can do the same. You can if you plug in values of x and y, that coordinate will satisfy to the given line. नेट का प्रॉब्लम है कुछ, होंगे बच्चे होंगे. Note. No, not after, not in this. We'll do after this. Third form is slope intercept form. Slope intercept form. All right, slope intercept form. Equation of a line having slope m and making an intercept of C on y axis, right, can be given as or can be written as equation of a line having slope of small m and having and making an intercept of C on y axis can be written as y equals to mx plus c. Okay. Now let's understand. We know what is m already, right? What is the significance of m mathematically, graphically, all the way. Now what is c? Of course, mathematically it is a constant. C is a constant. It does not being multiplied with either x or y, right? It is simply a constant c. It can have any of the value, like any real number, 1, 2, 0, minus values, plus values, all of that. Okay. let me write here where these M and C belongs to real numbers. I think I have already explained why these M and C can be real number. Okay. Now you see, we can discuss different cases, when this C is positive and C is negative. What if C is 0? So let's understand. I'm not sure, let me record it. What we have to do? Can we finish it? I mean, I'm fine with it totally. Is Vikrant there? Vikrant is there? आप एक बार कंफर्म करो कि बच्चा कोई है कि नहीं है. एक भी सेंटर पे अगर फिर नहीं होगा तो फिर देयर इज नो पॉइंट टू रनिंग इट. है, पूछ लो. So let's discuss different cases when M and C they are positive, negative, and vice versa, right? And what is intercept, guys? That you have to understand intercept. Intercept term is, probably this is the first time you're going to hear it. You're going to understand intercept. So intercept is it is the cut made on the y-axis. It is the cut made on the y-axis by the straight line. By the straight line. That means if C is positive, that means C is if C value is positive, that means ki it is having intercept of positive. I mean it is being cut at the positive side of y-axis, right? So here are different cases on the basis of M and C values. So case 1, M positive, C positive. Case 2, M positive, C negative. First case, when M is positive, C is positive. M positive means this is M positive, right? Please remember it. This is always M positive. What is M negative? This is M negative. These are the lines, right? This kind of geometry should be in your mind, right? Whenever M positive means some angle from 0 to 90. When it is negative, that means 90 to 180. So this is the line having angle of 0 to 90, so definitely M positive. Now you can take any of the case where line is this way inclined and having positive C, that means it is going to get intersected as positive y-axis. So this is the line, I guess. You can take this case, satisfying to the given condition. Second is that M is positive but C is negative, right? So if M is positive means this kind of line, but C negative means negative. This is C negative, this is C positive. Isn't it? I hope you're getting this thing. Okay, anyway. Further, what is the coordinate? Can you tell me what is the coordinate? Coordinate in the first case, coordinate in the second case. Very much important. See, coordinate of this point is 0, C. How we are getting this? By making x equals to 0, because on this on this y-axis, x coordinate is always 0. So if you were to put x equals to 0 here, so it will be 0 and y equals to C. So what is the coordinate of y coordinate, I mean, that will be C. So 0, C. This is what? 0, C, right? Exactly, y-axis. If it is positive, so upward. If it is negative, so it is downward. Third case. Case third. What is the case? Case is when m is negative, C is positive. Case 4, the last case would be when m is negative, C is also negative. Alright, so let's plot this. M negative, C positive. M negative means this kind of line? No, this kind of line. This is M negative, right? So this kind of line with C positive, I think this is the line. What is the coordinate? Coordinate is going to be 0, C. You don't need to remember all this, right? I am not expecting you to mug up this like 0, C, 0, C. Every time you are turning this page, you are mugging, you are reading it 0, C properly. No, you just have to look into the condition and the graph. That's it. Next case. When this is M negative and C negative, means this kind of line having negative inclination, and we have C negative, means this is the case. Right? What is the coordinate of this point? This point will be 0, C. So these are 4 cases with slope intercept form, y equals to mx plus c. All right. Basically, if m is, not m, if C is positive, line will be in the first or second quadrant, right? I should not say first or second because it has different meanings. In the upward direction, downward direction would be a better way. Anyway, apart from this, all these cases, M positive, M negative, C positive, C negative, there is a special note when C is 0. So yes, if C equals to 0, then we get y equals to mx. This is the line passing through origin. This is the line passing through origin. Clear? Y equals to mx when you have C equals to 0. Yes, because C. If C is 0, that means you are not allowed to have C positive or C negative. So the only way is you have to pass through this. Okay. So this is if C is equals to 0. How these line will look like? Something like this. Something like this. This is when M is positive. This is when M is negative. Right? Slope negative, slope positive. Alright? Passing through origin. So remember now onward that any line which is passing through origin, it will be independent of C. Right? There is no constant, there is only y equals to mx part. Okay? So this is all about 3 forms. 1 point slope, second is 2 point, third is slope intercept. Now note number 2, in this only, let me write some more note. Note number 1, note number 2. Note 2 says that what if m equals to 0 or what is m equals to not defined or infinity? Okay, so first case. If m equals to 0, m equals to 0 means line is parallel to y axis, x axis. It's x axis, not y axis, right? If it is parallel to y axis, that means m has to be not defined. So probably you must have said the same thing. If m equals to 0, line is parallel to the x axis. And how any line, how any kind of line which is parallel to x-axis, how they will look like? You see, this is the case. Line, any line which is parallel to x-axis will be somewhat this way. This is the line. So what I can write here is that equation of such lines are going to be y equals to constant, isn't it? Y equals to constant. Y equals to constant. So these are all lines which is parallel to. You should not write actually y equals to constant, not a good way. But we should write y equals to c, where c belongs to constant. That would be a better. Okay, y equals to c. Second is, if m equals to not defined or infinity, right, then what we call line is parallel to y-axis, or perpendicular to x-axis. How this line will look like this. Okay, this is the line. This is what? X equals to some constant, right? X equals to some constant. That's your answer, right? So remember now onward, if something is y equals to 1, what is the line? Y equals to 1. So basically, yes, y equals to 1 means this is the y equals 0, right? This will be y equals to 1 upside. If I say y equals to minus 2, so this is the x-axis, or y equals to 0. Remember guys, this is, let me write in general, for example, if this is the case. If this is the case, this is your x-axis dash, y dash. Okay, so I am going to show you all together, lines parallel to x-axis, parallel to y-axis, and so on. This is your x-axis, which is y equals to 0. This is your y-axis, which is x equals to 0. If I say y equals to 5, what is the line? This is y equals to, this is not y equals to 5. This is not even a line. It is a line, but not a straight line. It is a straight line, but not parallel to x-axis, right? Okay, so this is the line y equals to 5. Assume that this is y equals to 5. Maybe it is not parallel to the x-axis, right? Y equals to 5. If positive constant, we have y equals to 5. Suppose y equals to minus 3. So this is y equals to minus 3. Minus, negative, y equals to negative constant. Tell me what is the point here. This is what? 0, 5, right? This is what? 0, minus 3. Okay. These are nothing but the question itself. Okay. The way you will learn it, you will be easily doing all the questions if you will to understand this part. Y equals to minus 3. X equals to, suppose, 4. So if x equals to, this is 4. What is this point name? This point will be 4, 0. Any point on the x-axis is always, y coordinate will always be 0. Right? This is the origin. Lastly, we have x equals to, suppose, x equals to minus 5. So this is what? This point is going to be minus 5, 0. Clear? So these are two lines parallel to x-axis. Sorry, these two parallel to y-axis. Parallel to x-axis means y equals to some constant. Parallel to y-axis means x equals to some constant. Do not get confused with x and y. I think so. अच्छा, नहीं तो बस कोई पॉइंट नहीं है फिर ऐसे रिकॉर्ड करने का भी. वही ना ये question is, let's do some question on these parallel lines parallel to x-axis or y-axis. Okay, question is, find the equation of a line parallel to x-axis and passing through, see, if line is parallel to x-axis or line is perpendicular to x-axis, right? Parallel, perpendicular, any of the way. If line in line orientation is provided now already, so you are not supposed to change the slope now, right? Slope is fixed. Slope will be either 0 or it is not defined. Thank you. Find the equation of a line parallel to x-axis and passing through 4, -3. Okay, first question. Second question is, find the equation of a line perpendicular. क्या करना है? ऐसा करता हूँ फिर भी. Find the equation of a line perpendicular to x-axis and passing through 5, 6. Find out the answer in both the cases. First case. So take your time, try to find out the answer, right? Certainly, value of, see, there is one way you can find out the answer. If you are not good at graphical approach with the graphs, then certainly y minus y1, that formula you can apply, right? What is the value of m? M, as we are given that line is parallel to x-axis, means m is equals to 0. Okay, so this will be what? Y minus y1 minus 3 equals to m, which is 0. So everything is 0 here, right? So you will get y equals to 3. It should be, right? It should be. Y equals to 3 was supposed to be the correct answer also. It's not y equals to 3, it is y equals to -3. y equals to minus 3. Right, this is the answer. Why it is so? Because if line is parallel to x-axis means the possibility you are left with is, in general case, I mean general case, parallel to x-axis means y equals to some constant, y equals to c. Now what is that constant? If this line is passing through 4 comma minus 3, so this is the y coordinate which should satisfy the given equation. That means y equals to minus 3 directly. You can directly conclude the answer as y equals to minus 3, or this is the other way. If you want to do it completely, like starting from value of m and x1, y1, you can do this y equals to minus 3. Clear? Okay. So without doing this, applying this complete m, x1, y1 and so, can you directly find out the answer? Yes. Perpendicular to x-axis means parallel to y-axis. Let me write here parallel to y-axis. Now if line is parallel to y-axis means x equals to some constant. Right? X equals to some constant. Now what is that constant? X equals to, it has to pass through 5 comma 6. So certainly 5, this x coordinate does satisfy. That means x equals to 5. That's your answer. So directly if line are parallel to some x or y axis and passing point is given, directly use this information. Okay. So this is how we do all kind of questions. Okay. And there is one more thing, guys, that coordinate. You must remember coordinate. There is another way to write it down. I mean to say them. That is abscissa and ordinate. Abscissa. You must remember this, I guess. X, Y. X will be abscissa. What is Y? Ordinate. When they get together, combinedly we call them as coordinate of a point. Otherwise, they are abscissa and ordinate of a point. Okay, all right. So guys, this is for the day, and we have seen 3 different forms of a straight line, and I'll give you some question on WhatsApp, and probably all of the students are not there, so maybe I'll share the link. Okay, that will help you. So after session, I'll give you the link. I'll share on each and every group of WhatsApp. You can follow the link, and then I'll give you one assignment on it. You can solve it. Okay. As we have covered a lot of, I would say 60%, more than 60% chapters, so now you can do assignment as well. And apart from this, those who are there in the classroom, they can attempt NCERT exercise, the very first and second exercise. Let me tell you the name. It will be, first I have already assigned you, I guess, right? Now it is for second exercise, 10.2 probably. 10.1 I have given you, yes. 10.1 is all about slopes, angle, collinearity and so on, right? Quadrilaterals, finding quadrilaterals, triangles. So those who have not started, just in case, so they can do 10.1 now. And apart from this, not all the questions from 10.2, but yes, they can start 10.2, right? There is one more form we are left with, which is intercept form. Okay, normal form is also there. So 10.1 you can do. 10.2 for now you should skip, right? In the next class I'll take all the question. I mean, in the next class I'll cover rest of the topic, and then we'll discuss the important problems from NCERT of 10.2, right? Yeah, but you can start with 10.2, as you can feel that, you know, question number 1 I can do as it is passing through 1 point and slope, or 2 point, or kind of these 3 topics. So those questions you can attempt. Or better if I'll tell you the number as well, right? Those questions you can attempt. Okay, then. Right. So now guys, we will wrap up our session for today and we'll continue in the next class. Okay, so take care everyone. Good night. We'll see you in the next class. Thank you.